Hi, are you ready for your 73 questions?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. How would you describe yourself in 3 words?
I would describe myself as big crybaby.
Okay. What's the best thing about growing up in Houston?
I'd say the best part about growing up in Houston is the fact that there's so many different people here and it's so colorful and full of culture.
What is your favorite childhood memory?
That's a hard one. My favorite childhood memory is probably trick-or-treating in my neighborhood.
Okay. What's a misconception people have about you?
A misconception that people have about me is that I'm closed off. I actually feed on emotional connection.
What's one thing most people don't know about you?
One thing people don't know about me, honestly, nothing, because I leave virtually nothing to the imagination because I trauma dump on the internet.
What inspires you every day?
My husband.
Who is your biggest role model?
My husband?
What does your Mexican heritage mean to you?
Oh, everything. I grew up in a part of Houston where I'd say like 80% of the population were Latinos. So it shows up in every single corner of my life.
What's one tradition you'll always carry forward?
Always have cats and always speak Spanish.
How has living in Houston shaped your style?
Probably, I think about the weather quite a bit when I'm getting dressed. It's always raining here.
What's your favorite corner of the city?
Probably the Heights.
What inspired the design of your home?
My home, heavily inspired by lots of color, and I'd say like 60s interior design.
What's the story behind your favorite thrifted piece?
So my very favorite thrifted piece is this ceramic white shell, and it's actually kind of sad. I got it from a dead lady at her estate sale. Yeah.
Okay. If you could redesign one room, which would it be?
In my house, I would redesign my office. It's not very conducive to creative thinking.
What spot in your home brings you the most creative freedom?
My bed. I always journal in bed, and that's where I have my biggest thoughts.
How do you incorporate your culture into your home decor?
I think the same way that it shows up in my life. I think my house is very colorful, and I fill it with anything that brings me joy. And a lot of the times that is colorful pieces that come from Mexican culture.
What's the first thing you do when you get home?
Doom scroll, unfortunately.
What's one item in your home you would never get rid of?
I want to say my husband, but I'll say my litter boxes. I can't get rid of my litter boxes. Not for me, they're my cats.
What's the newest thing in your house?
The newest thing in my house? Probably toiletries, a tube of toothpaste.
What's the oldest thing in your house?
My husband.
How would you describe your personal style?
My personal style is comfortable, classic, and chic.
What is your favorite thrifted item ever?
Oh, that's easy. My cheetah print coat that I thrifted from Value Village. It was $8 and it's from The Limited.
What's one wardrobe staple you swear by?
I think everyone needs a really good casual black dress.
Who's your fashion icon?
I'm going to say my mom, but also Audrey Hepburn.
What's your go-to outfit for a casual day?
My really good casual dress.
What's your favorite accessory to elevate any outfit?
A colorful purse.
How does thrifting shape your fashion choices?
I think thrifting allows me to experiment, but then also find really good quality clothes for cheap.
What's a style trend you'll never try?
Bermudas. Jorts are just out of the question for this body shape.
What's your biggest splurge?
I'd say shoes.
What's one item you regret not buying?
Nothing, because I have zero impulse control.
What's the last book you couldn't put down?
Probably Play It As It Lays.
What's your favorite genre to read?
Modern fiction and essays.
Which female author do you admire most?
This last year, Joan Didion.
How do you pick books for your book club?
It's a group effort, but we read a lot of romance and mystery.
What's the best book club discussion you've ever had?
For me, and none of my book club members will agree, it was Brutes by Diz Tate. I just love anything that's Supergirl.
What's the first book that changed your life?
Changed my life? I will say The Hunger Games.
How do books inspire your writing?
I love to learn about different perspectives, and I think books, no matter what the genre, are filled with big thoughts.
What is your writing routine like?
I write in the mornings mainly, but also sometimes at night when it's been a hard day.
Who's a fictional character you relate to the most?
Oh, that's a fun question. I'm gonna say Joe March, I think. And as a collective, the girls from Brutes.
What's your dream location for a book club retreat?
I don't know how this would happen, but Spain.
Where's your favorite spot to grab coffee?
Luce's.
What's your go-to taco spot?
I don't know the name of the cart, but the place, if you know, on Ella and Veterans.
What's one hidden gem in Houston everyone needs to visit?
Okay, shout out to my camera lady for this one, Southern Yankee.
Where is the best place to thrift?
Any Goodwill in the suburbs.
What's a perfect Houston weekend?
For me, I'd say walk, coffee, shopping, good dinner, and a movie.
How do you stay connected to your roots in Houston?
It's honestly impossible for me to ever feel disconnected. Like I said, there's a ton of culture here.
What's your favorite annual event?
I have to say the rodeo.
If someone's visiting Houston, what's one thing they need to do?
Bring an umbrella.
What's the most Houston thing about you?
Most Houston thing about me is my constant complaint of traffic.
How does Houston influence your creativity?
Houston's a really, really bright and colorful city. I think it's impossible to not feel creative here.
How do you start your mornings?
Doom scroll again.
What's your favorite yoga pose?
I would do it here right now if I didn't care about getting sick. But I'd say crow. Yeah, let's go with crow.
How do you unwind after a long day?
When I really can't muster any will to do anything, shower early, eat early, in bed by 7:30.
What's your go-to self-care ritual?
Self-care. I really like to binge watch series that make me cry a lot.
How does wellness play a role in your daily life?
I need to move my body at least once a day, whether that's a 20-minute walk or a Pilates class or yoga.
Favorite healthy snack?
Grapes. Specifically, grapes from HEB.
How do you balance work, hobbies, and rest?
I cannot go about my day without creating in some capacity or indulging in something creative. So it's not so much about balance as much as a necessity.
What's your favorite way to stay active?
I'd say walking. Oh my God, am I going to get run over? No.
How does mixed media art inspire you?
Oh God, now we're going to get run over. Mixed media. I consume a ton of media, whether it's TV, reading, or social media. And I think just like with books, I love to learn about different perspectives. And so when visually it looks super different, then I feel inspired to create as well.
What is a recent creative project you're proud of?
My YouTube channel.
What's the last movie you watched?
Last movie that I watched, I can't remember, but I did cry a lot during Christmas to Little Women.
What's your guilty pleasure for reality shows?
Right now, Singles Inferno.
Best advice you've ever gotten?
Nobody cares.
What's the one thing you're currently obsessed with?
Currently obsessed with? I'm always obsessed with my cats.
What's your favorite way to spend time with friends?
Hanging out with my cats.
What's the best compliment you've received?
I like your outfit. That one always hits.
One thing on your bucket list?
One thing on my bucket list, I want to spend a long time in Mexico. I don't know what that looks like yet.
Who's someone you'd love to have dinner with?
My grandparents.
In your life, if it was a movie, what would the title be?
What is she doing now?
What is your favorite scent?
Sage.
What's the last thing that made you laugh?
My husband.
If you had one superpower, what would it be?
I would love to remember everything I've ever seen.
And finally, what is next for you?
Who knows? Stay tuned, I guess.
That's it.
That's it. Okay. Well, thanks so much for following me around.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.